lately, a lot of people have been talking about the revival of the hybrid engine, the hybrid car. And I think this is because there's been a little bit of a decline in interest for electric cars. And I'm not saying it's wrong. And I'm not saying it's right also. Because why? We must and will continue to have electric cars. There are enough manufacturers out there producing great electric cars right now. I'm still not convinced of the battery technology. And when I say not convinced, it's simply because I want to see a battery that can go I want to see a battery that can go 1,000 kilometers on one charge, yet is half the weight of the current battery packs. So I want to see an electric car. In a nutshell, I want an electric car that can go 1,000 kilometers on a single charge, yet weigh in at under 1.6 tons.
Well, actually, you don't have to wait that long because actually Honda has been slowly introducing a series of hybrid vehicles. Now, Honda has been doing electric vehicles for 10 years plus.
Okay.
I think almost 20 years at this point. But every time they change the technology of their hybrid powertrains.
Okay.
And this generation, you see them labeled e-HEV.
Okay.
Now, it sounds complicated, e-HEV, what does it mean and all that. Essentially, sometimes they'll just boil it down to it's a hybrid. But actually, it's a lot more electrified than before.
So it's not just a simple hybrid.
No more. Now, most of the time, like this kind of driving we're doing, it's basically an electric car because it's the electric motor that's driving us forward.
Yeah. So now I'm driving in EV mode.
Yeah. Basically,
And-
the engine is completely off.
Yeah, exactly.
But that
And now the engine comes on.
now the engine kicks on. But when it kicks on, it's not driving the vehicle. What it's doing is it is charging the small battery at the back, and that battery is the one that's feeding the electricity back to the electric motor, and that is what's driving us.
So it is.
It is an electric vehicle in a lot of ways.
Okay, so it's an electrified car.
I would say in about 50 to 60% of your drive, you are driving as though it's an electric vehicle.
Okay, so but this battery, what's the warranty? What does Honda give you as a warranty?
Okay, there's a couple of ways they kind of protect you because, like, if you buy an electric vehicle, yeah, a lot of them will give you 8-year, 10-year warranty and all that. The problem is after the 10 years, you don't know how much it costs.
Right.
Whereas with Honda, very early on, usually at the launch itself, they will try to subsidize or cap the price of their hybrid battery replacement.
Okay.
So it is not the kind of replacement fee where you have to sell the car. There's no choice.
Okay.
Most of the time, even the older hybrids, it was 8,000. This generation is a little bit more expensive, but they still cap the price. And on top of that, for 8 years, unlimited mileage, they will cover any issues with the battery pack.
Okay, so you got 8 years of electrified driving, free,
Worry-free.
any worry lah.
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
worry free. That's the thing. Now, all that is fine, but you see, I keep seeing this thing, switching on, off.
Yeah.
Will it damage the car?
No, these engines, like, they're not like the VTECs of the old days. These are all Atkinson cycle engines. The starter is made for a lot of cycles.
Okay.
And the oil system, the way it lubricates the engine and all that, it's all taking into account the fact that the engine will come on and off over and over and over.
Right.
The whole engine is made to be a generator primarily. But the difference in the system here is when you're on the highway, where electric vehicles tend to be very inefficient, the engine can directly drive the wheels.
Okay. So I don't have to plug in. I don't have to worry about charging the car. I don't have to worry. I just basically put some petrol inside.
Yes.
And just take on my journey without any worry.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the future lah. And I think this is the way it's going to be in the coming years, simply because lately I've noticed Chinese car manufacturers who have been concentrating on full electric cars are starting to release hybrid cars.
Correct.
And they're bringing in hybrid MPVs, pickup trucks, passenger cars. So if the Chinese car manufacturers are suddenly realizing that hybrids are making some sense in the real driving world, that means the Japanese were not wrong all this while.
They were not wrong, and they were ahead of the game before anyone else was there.
Yes.
But I commend the Chinese for one thing. They made everybody wake up and think about electric vehicles. But
yes,
because they're thinking about electric vehicles, most people are now thinking, oh, why don't I just try a hybrid instead?
correct.
So we've come full circle.
So the Chinese car manufacturers just woke everybody up to the idea that
Yeah,
having a battery system to run the car is not a bad idea.
correct. I have to take a picture of this. This is one rare S-Class.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what we do when we're on a drive, right? Okay, so this is the Honda City e-HEV. And how much does it cost?
111,000 with a few hundred ringgit at the end for your tax and all that. You got to account for that. But yeah, 111,900.
So for 111 ringgit, I get an electrified car
Yeah.
that gives me good consumption, headache-free ownership because I don't have to worry about charging station, charging points. I can go outstation on the fly. I don't have to think about where I'm going to charge. I don't have to go to a charging point and stand there and wait, you know. And more importantly, when it's time to sell the car's got resale value.
Yes, correct.
Because if you check all hybrid cars today, they still have very decent resale value as compared to electric cars in the used car market. Look at this, man. Honda here, Honda there, Honda there.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And that car also has the same system, the e-HEV.
Ah,
This is the turbo one. They also offer the e-HEV.
Okay.
Yeah, and
So-
I think that's the best part because this car is not unfamiliar to most people.
Correct.
It's a city.
Yes.
People are already so prepared to buy cities. You can take the next step and get a e-HEV city.
Correct. And you've got everything that you need in a passenger car. Plus, you've got a nice, decent boot, and it's not heavy.
Yeah.
You know, I always think to myself, these electric cars are just too heavy. So you have to get special tires, suspension system, braking system.
Yeah.
Everything is very unique to the car. Whereas this uses all the same sort of wear and tear parts
Yeah.
that you find in the regular petrol-powered city. And you can just go to a normal mechanic to get it fixed.
Yeah.
You don't need a specialist EV, person to look at the car.
Yeah. And those specialists, certified EV technicians, cost a lot of money also.
Correct.
Yeah.
But again, I'm just happy that we can go the distance. We don't have to charge, and resale value, because for Malaysians, resale value is important. At some point, you want to sell the car, and you want to be able to get decent value because you want to take that cash and put it in as a down payment for your upgrade purchase.
Yeah.
And if you don't get enough cash back and you can't upgrade your car, then life is quite depressing.
Correct. And another thing also that people don't think about, when you have an EV, most of the time that can't be your only car.
Yes.
You've got to at least keep your old petrol car or have another smaller one on the side for emergencies. With a hybrid, you can have a one-car garage. It sorts out all your issues.
Yeah. And when you say emergencies, you're talking about late at night, you get a call, a relative or friend or family member in a far away state is sick or passed away, and you got to rush over. You got to think, oh shit, where am I going to charge?
Yeah.
You know, and then when I get there, do I have a place to charge the car?
Yeah.
You know.
So you'll be calling up someone else in the middle of the night. Can I borrow your car to go somewhere else?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a headache. With
Okay.
this, no problems.
So Honda City e-HEV, 111,000 and some change. It's electrified. It's efficient. It's got resale value, and it's got a decent battery warranty of 8 years.